my windshield, it hath no cracks. This is the first time in years I've had a windshield without a crack. Shortly after moving back to Alberta in like 2016, within like a year, I had some chips and cracks and stuff, and then, yeah, no, it'd be 2017. I didn't get this car until 2017, January. So I guess it would have been around 2018, actually. So 6 years that this thing has, it's had cracks that have been building and whatever, and that's just the price you pay for doing a lot of highway driving. I've never had a vehicle before in my life that I have had to get the windshield repaired on. I did a fair amount of highway driving still in Saskatchewan, not nearly as much as I do here between different subbing jobs and just other jobs and just whatever. But yeah. Anyway, this is, well, flip her around. There we go. Yeah, I got a new windshield. So I've been meaning to do it for a while. Thought I would. It's really weird. It's really trippy to go from like, it wasn't impairing my visibility that much, but it was letting in a certain amount of air, like all these cracks, so that I was getting like fog on the inside sometimes, and just wasn't great for winter. So I'm hoping I can keep it, just like nice for a while. I don't know. Again, I've never had a vehicle that I've ever had to fix the windshield on before. Not because like, oh, I just wait till they get really bad. Like any other vehicle I've ever had has just never gotten chips and cracks and whatever else in it. And I don't know if it's just the shape of my windshield, the height, everything else, or just that it's just so weak because of how many times it's been hit because of the amount of highway driving I've done. Like, I have no idea why it got so bad and got as bad as it did. So anyway, it's really trippy to have a clean windshield, as in like nothing. It just feels like there's no windshield at all right now. It's really bananas how like, yeah, it just feels like there's nothing here at all, and it's a trippy feeling.
Okay, so I'm doing a little voiceover here. So this is Track Record, the exhibition that I did with Rebecca. Just gonna walk you through this a little bit. So it's at the Helen Schuler Nature Centre. This is their gallery here. First time that Rebecca has shown in a gallery. Yeah, these are her drawings here. I'm trying to find a way to not be in the way of taking pictures, being in my own way of taking pictures and video because of the shadow and the lights. But yeah, she's been doing these cool drawings using a lot of pressed flowers, and then she kind of did some without the flowers and kind of moved on from doing that. And I really like that. It was definitely like an awesome kind of novelty, but at the same time, she didn't want to just rely on that novelty and just like wanted to do things with just, the strength of the drawing alone, and just use the flowers when needed and not force them in there. So yeah, but she's done all these drawings of local wildlife to the area. Sometimes they are specifically associated to a trail or a certain area of Lethbridge, and that is reflected in the titles at times. But yeah, I wish that there wasn't as much shadow and I wasn't in the way. I might insert some pictures here just to supplement this. But yeah, it is at the Helen Schuler Nature Centre until May 4th. So these are the two canvases, 24 by 36 inches, that we did together. She did the drawing and I just did the background painting. I think it's the first time she's ever used color actually in a drawing, and I wish I got closer into the drawing. I hope I do here eventually. Yes, okay, there we go. I will in a second here. But yeah, I really like her use of color. We're trying to find a cool way to integrate, the drawing and the painting, and I think that it worked. It worked okay. I think that there's things I would try differently for another time for sure, but it's a good learning experience. I really enjoyed the outcome of those two bigger pieces. I think they grow on me over time too, because I definitely had challenges with them. And yeah, then we kind of start my portion here, which is the landscapes of local trails. I used to take photos, a lot of photos, while I was on my mountain bike, mainly because I wasn't fit enough to keep going on my mountain bike, and I would have to like stop and catch my breath more often, or just because trails were new to me too. I didn't know where it was going or whatever, and I would, you know, take my phone out and then snap a few pictures, and I do that less and less and less as time goes on. And yeah, so some of these are from this year, and some of them are from like 5 years ago, and everything in between. So yeah, it was really fun working on these. Putting the bike chain around the edges was an idea that I had, and I just kind of went with that. And then here we have track record. Here's the exhibition that we put together, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm really happy with it. Never thought I'd have landscape stuff in a gallery, but there you are.
I'm going to try, and I mean, you would have known this already, but it shouldn't be hard to do, but who knows? I'm going to try to put audio over that video instead of just music, and just talk about the exhibition a little bit as I showed it to you. So yeah, lights are up and positioned and all that stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, I quite like the look of the show. It's nice. It's very nice. Yeah, so that's the show there, and I'm hoping that I was able to add some audio and stuff and whatever. It'll be something new, so I'm sure it'll be clunky, but I'm gonna try to record audio while I'm looking at the footage so that it makes sense and kind of timed properly. But yeah, so that's the show. It's at Helen Schuler until I believe May 4th, and one piece sold already. I don't know if you noticed, there's an orange dot which I just put up there on one of Rebecca's pieces of the chickadees because it was purchased. And so it'll stay in the show until May 4th, and then it'll be delivered to its rightful owner. And yeah, it's definitely something different. I never thought I would be having a landscape nature exhibition thing going on, but here we are. And it was fun, and I learned a lot, and I think I'd like to do more at some point. I'm a little burnt out on it right now, but I definitely want to explore it more and see what else I can do. And yeah, I don't take as many mountain bike photos anymore is the thing, because I don't stop as much. I also don't ride as much. So a lot of my photos are from years like 4 or 5 years ago, or the bulk of them, and they've dwindled out over time. So we'll see what I get up to. Yeah, I realized the other day that when I was talking to the vlog, I was able, for some reason that time, just being able to talk in that way, I was able to calm down, I guess, by expressing certain things, even though I wasn't going into a lot of detail. And I've had this desire in the background for a bit of just I don't even know for how long. Just I am constantly evaluating how I vlog and record, edit, etc. Mostly, there's just I don't know, it's just a life thing. But that's not a reason to not express life things. And I guess I just have to accept the fact that it's changed so many times, and not necessarily purposefully, and I want to take more control of how those changes are being made. And so when there's life changes that I can't control, I mean, I still want to be purposeful. Okay, well, right now, what does vlogging look like? And part of that is tied to goals, because what is the goal? It's not it's to monetize or to, it's not about anything like that. It's just documentation, expression, external processing, things like that. And some of it is for my family in Chile, and other people. Some people, this is the only way they get to know me at all. This is a peace offering thing. I'll talk about this real quick. So if you don't know what I've been doing for, I don't know when I started, I don't even think it's been a year yet, but I printed off these little things that explain what it is I'll read it, but yeah. I used to make unwanted public art without permission, aka graffiti days. I should say illegal graffiti days. With this project, I leave art in a public space and hope someone takes it to enjoy in their private space. Part of my mission is to make art accessible, and public art does this, but I want someone to be able to have a relationship with these pieces in their private space as well. This isn't meant to be litter. These pieces are meant to be taken out of this public environment. So, peace offering. I don't know. I just do these little pieces sometimes, and I like documenting, them somehow. I just don't know if I've talked about it on the vlog before, but I like post something on Instagram. I don't tell the location. I have some pictures that are clues for sure. And yeah, someone can just go and grab it. I don't know. No one's ever reached out to me. I've probably done like 5 or 6. Maybe 7 or 8. I don't think I've done more than that though. No one's ever reached out, like messaged or anything and been like, oh hey, like I grabbed this piece, and that's fine. But I'm hoping that it doesn't just end up as garbage somewhere, which is why I have to like tape that little explanation onto the back. So it's always so noisy when I move my fingers around or my hand around. Anyway, that's that. But I was just thinking of like, man, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm having a rough day. But I think that's what this is for too. Like if someone, I guess I'm just trying to think of like, what do I value in vlogging? And it's getting to know someone and having like this weird connection with someone and following their life a bit. And it's like a weird thing that, like, if you don't know the person at all, thinking of back to like Kev Jumba and stuff, like vloggers, and I don't make the time to watch vlogging that much. I want to, but it's weird now. I think it's weirder. There was so much time that like those just were not the videos being made. You know what I mean? For a long time, and it's just grown out of popularity too, which is like whatever. I'm not doing it for that purpose. I'm just doing it because I need to do it. But since I started doing it, it's even like less likely that I watch them, I think. But in some ways, recently, the past like year, I've like subscribed to some other people's stuff and just haven't got into watching it. But I'm also such like I feel like I have to watch everything from the beginning, like from the very start. And so there's one person that I've like been watching, but like I'm into the weeds on really old stuff. And anyway, again, I just want my whatever I do to be more purposeful. And as I reflect and reevaluate why I'm doing things and what am I trying to get out of it and is it worth it and whatever, I mean, this is a part of that. And I'm still doing it for a reason, but I want to be more purposeful about it. So yeah, as for the peace offering thing, I mean, it's just a way to like, I want art to be accessible, and it's tough because, and if you follow my Instagram, you've maybe seen a video I did about a week ago. It's in black and white. It's just there on my posts. And yeah, a video where I was like trying to figure out pricing and like how transparent should I be about pricing and what do I do, and like, and the reason that I wasn't transparent, I'm not going to retell the whole video. You can go watch it on Instagram. It was just like, I'd like to adjust pricing on like a scale, like a sliding scale or whatever, based on maybe someone's financial situation. If I can gauge that, I might price it appropriately as to like, oh, this is what I would price it in like a high-end gallery right now, as if I would be in a high-end gallery. But this is what I would price it. This is what it's worth. This is what I think it's worth. What I really believe it to be worth. And I know you can afford that, so I'm going to price it appropriately. And if it's like someone that I'm like, man, you love this piece, and I'm going to price it just to break even because I want you to have it, and I don't want to lose money for sure, because I mean, I lose money every month. I have to pay rent in my studio, right? But like, I don't want to lose money, but like it's a tricky balance because I'm like, I want to get paid what I'm worth, but I also want people who enjoy my art and connect with it to have it. And so it's a tricky thing, and I'm trying to figure that out. And I've also just been thinking about like, man, I need to show more art. I just need to build that into, that's just a part of things. Like, hey, look what I'm doing. This is what I'm up to. Because if the majority of this is like an art vlog, I mean, that's, if I'm focusing my life on art, why am I not showing that? It's just weird. Because I can talk more about like my struggles with pieces and whatever, and I save a lot of that for Instagram, and I should be vlogging about it more too. So anyway, just at the skate park while this kid shreds or attempts to ollie. It's going to be a long road. It's definitely made me want to get back into skating again. I never got an ollie down. like where I could just land a straight up ollie. In my like mid-teens, early teens, I guess I got into skating a bit, and I had like an old school board. You know what I should do? I should do a story time about my skateboard history. But it definitely makes me want to get into skating again. My knees are so screwy, and man, I can just, with the amount of weight that I have, if I take a tumble, and imagine if I'm trying to brace my fall and like break my wrist, I'm like, cool, now I can't paint, or I've got to find a different way to do it. I want to get back into it, but we'll see. Just running some errands here before I get to the studio. I had something specific to say, and now I honestly don't remember. So, cool. Why did I turn this camera on? I can tell you that I'm not going back and forth between Qobuz and Tidal. I'm just trying to like lean into Tidal and just use it, and just by using it, see what other comparisons can be made, and if I should kind of go back with Qobuz. Like, I still have the app. They're both on a free trial. They're like a week and a half apart though, so I need to be careful about that. That Qobuz free trial is ending soon. I think next week, I don't know. I'm like paranoid, so I think I'm like upping or like decreasing the actual time. I can't remember. I gotta look in my emails. But yeah, so I'm trying to just go in on Tidal. Again, I want to do a full review, but I will tell you, Tidal or not, I mean, just with streaming, I guess, yeah, I found this on Qobuz, actually. Anyway, I was looking up Yellow Wolf. I enjoy a lot of Yellow Wolf. And then I kind of just didn't listen to anything that he put out for like the past like 10 years or something. I think 8 years maybe, that I was like, like this album wasn't really doing it for me. And then this one, I don't know, he kind of went this way with it. And then I decided, because I saw it there, I was like, you know what, I'm going to listen to this album he did with Riff Raff. I've never really heard Riff Raff's music. He's a character, you know, but I've never like really listened to his music. And so they did this album together called Turquoise. It's something else, you know? It's something else. There were 2 songs that I listened to the whole album once, and I was like stuck on 2 songs, and the rest I was like, I could probably just never listen to those songs again, I think. But I mean, things grow on you, right? And I think that if anything, Riff Raff probably has a real talent for creating an earworm, and just like, you know, I mean, I don't know if he's got songwriters and stuff too, maybe, but give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Either way, he's created a character, and that's art enough. But yeah, what are the songs? Mossy Oak and what is it? Ballman Ball Game, or Ball Game Ballman? Bailman? I don't know how to pronounce the company. I'm at the ball game, rockin' ball man. Anyway, but then the other day I got Tiptoe 4 in my head. Is that what it's called? Tiptoeing to the jewelry store? Christian Dior? Yeah, it's something else. It's it really got in my head. I only heard it one time, and then like, I don't know how many days later, I was just like, I got that song in my head that I didn't like, and I thought it was just like not my style. It was just a little too, I was trying to describe a little too what, and I didn't know how to describe it. But it's like, I think what's funny about that album and Riff Raff in general, and it's interesting to see Yellow Wolf into that, because I feel like Riff Raff is very much like, his whole character is tongue-in-cheek. Whereas Yellow Wolf usually, from my experiences with Yellow Wolf, is not like, it's not, he doesn't have a character that's tongue-in-cheek. It's just like, every once in a while, you say something that's tongue-in-cheek, but it's not like your whole character is. And so seeing how he mixed with that was interesting. And then, yeah, in the back of the Maybach eating chocolate-covered almonds, like, what a line. What a line. Anyway, I'm kind of getting into it. I think it's fun, and yeah, the beats are sick. But yeah, I can't get that song out of my head, and I like it more, and then Tiptoe 4. I could look it up, but I think it's called Tiptoe 4, and it's again, there was just something, a certain type of poppiness with it that seemed like it went and stepped over the line of tongue-in-cheek to be funny, to being like, I think are you just leaning 100% all into this? Or is that also the joke, right? Like, is that you committed to the bit? And I think that on the first listen, I was like, I think they went past that point. And then I was like, no, I think they just committed to the bit. I think that's all it is. Anyway, there's my riffraff journey. I'm going to try to listen to some riffraff. He's got a lot of content out there, but maybe I'll check some more out. I just thought I'd show you what's going on in the studio today. So I'm getting back into this, finally putting some oil on it. Did the tennis ball yesterday, which is not done yet. I'm finding that, I don't know if it's the brush I'm using or it's because the canvas didn't have, like, this is just like the straight up canvas here. And on previous projects, I guess the only time that I did oil so far, I had a layer of paint on here already. However, this isn't reacting like this. Like, this is, this is like additive. And when I'm doing the tennis ball here, it's like, I'm getting paint coming off while I'm trying to put it on, so that's a little bit of a challenge. I do want to work more on it today, but I also just feel like it might need some time just to, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I start working on it. But doing that. I finished this yesterday. I finally took pictures of it, so it's done maybe a day or two before that. I put a finish on it, and so that is there. What is it called again? Consider communicating to yourself without words. Consider the opportunity to speak to yourself without words. There it is. So there's that. There's a portrait of my friend Jordan, which I don't really know how to explain. I just do things I want to do. I don't know. It was a picture that he just sent. I don't remember why or where. Or I think it was just to our general group chat, like a snap of just him for some. Or I don't remember where I got it from. I stole it, and then Rebecca drew the outline and the proportions of the projector and stuff, and then I just went to town. I just used woodies for it, 100%. The background is acrylic, but that's just woodies, just drawing and painting. So I would draw some color on there, and then I would use a brush and move it around because it's got kind of a watercolor effect, and then I would draw on it after that. And sometimes I'd have to do a wash again and then draw again. So I'm learning kind of the process there, and so I did that. That's finished. That needs to go outside. Other stuff. So I've had this. This is the first art supply bin thing I think I ever had, and this used to be used to be able to take this down so stuff could fit in here, papers or whatever. And this thing's been just busted for so long. It's been holding on by some duct tape, and it has my paint markers in it. It's always been used for this purpose. And then I've added some other things, but I've realized it's time to go. I need. It's fallen apart. I've had it. I don't even know how long. 15 years. How long ago was that? Can I do the math? 15 years. If I go back. I think I've had it about 15 years. So that was the first one, and then I got this a little while after, this toolkit tackle box type thing, and this is still really sturdy, so no need to replace that. But I picked up some paints today, and figure I'll put all those paint markers in here because I think they will fit. And I needed some new acrylics, so picked those up. And I needed to do some organizing in here. That's kind of what's going on today. But yeah, I'm gonna start working on this again pretty quick, and then I don't know what I'll get up to something else. I think I don't think I can work on this all day. There's just not enough. I don't know. I think I need to wait for the oil to dry a bit in here. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can finish this today. That would be sick. And then again, because it's oil, it's not going to be really finished for I don't know how many weeks, but we'll see.
Just wrapping things up here. Only other video this week was a conversation about one of my biggest fears, which is being locked in, which is it's a thing, locked in syndrome. So, kind of like being in a coma but more conscious, but not being able to communicate. So that's scary. That's the only video this week. I'm just gonna wrap things up and leave it there. Hope to get on my bike soon.